All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about one of the biggest shifts happening in our economy right now, the electric pivot. And, it gets you thinking why your next car might not be a car you fill up, but one you plug in.
I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind, right? Especially when you're standing at the pump, just watching those numbers climb. It's not just a little sting, it's a real hit to the wallet, to your budget. It forces you to ask, is there a better way?
But, the answer isn't just a simple yes or no. It's way more complicated, and honestly, way more fascinating than you might think. We're talking about a story that weaves together economics, some really surprising tech, and a huge shift in how we even think about our cars. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to see the powerful forces that aren't just changing an industry, but literally changing the road right under our wheels.
So let's start at the beginning. Where's all this pressure coming from? The thing is, this isn't just about cars. It's a much bigger cost of living story that honestly touches almost everything we buy.
So, why is it so painful at the pump? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm of things all hitting at once. You've got geopolitical tensions, major oil producers cutting back on supply, and just skyrocketing global demand. It's this messy, complex cocktail that's keeping prices stubbornly, uncomfortably high for all of us.
And let's put a number on that pain, because it really brings it home. For the average American driver, someone driving, say, 15,000 miles a year, you could be looking at spending $3,500 just on gas. That is not chump change. I mean, that's a family vacation right there. Or months of groceries. It's real money, and that's the kind of thing that makes people start to seriously rethink their choices.
And you know what? That financial pain, it's sparking one of the most interesting consumer shifts, a pivot, really, that we've seen in a long, long time. People aren't just thinking about switching from a Ford to a Toyota anymore. No, they're thinking about switching their entire fuel source. So what's really fascinating here is who's actually winning in this new landscape. And one of the most surprising success stories to come out of all this chaos, Hyundai. Yeah, you heard me right, Hyundai.
So you gotta ask, how did they pull it off? Well, it was this amazing mix of smart strategy and just perfect timing. Their Ioniq line of cars, they're not just good, they're winning major awards. They've got this real tech advantage with their super fast charging. And they managed to bring these cool-looking, well-priced EVs to the market at the exact moment everyone was desperate for an alternative to gas. It was another perfect storm, but this time, it was all working in their favor.
Okay, so Hyundai's success is a huge deal, but it's really just one piece of a much, much bigger picture. The whole EV market, it's not a one-horse race anymore, not by a long shot. It has become an all-out battlefield.
I mean, for years and years, let's be honest, the EV market was basically a one-company show. If you wanted a great electric car, there was one name you thought of, Tesla. They didn't just lead the market. For a lot of people, they were the market. Well, that era, it is officially over.
And just look at this, it says everything you need to know. Before, it was one name. Now, it's a whole new world. You've got Ford, GM, Rivian, Hyundai, Kia, BMW, Mercedes. I mean, everybody is jumping into the ring. And that means Tesla isn't just selling to a captive audience anymore. Now they have to seriously compete. And all that competition? That is fantastic news for us, the consumers.
So, what's really lighting a fire under all this change? It's more than just high gas prices. There's this hidden force at play, a kind of secret accelerator that's totally revolutionizing the industry from the inside out. And that force is artificial intelligence.
Now, when I say AI, I know your mind probably jumps to self-driving cars, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. The biggest impact AI is having is happening way before the car even hits the showroom floor. It is fundamentally changing how these cars are designed and built in the first place.
So check this out. AI is taking on the biggest problems with EVs, one by one. First up, you have generative AI, which is creating car parts that are lighter and stronger than anything a human engineer could dream up. Then, it's diving into the batteries themselves, optimizing the chemistry to give us more range and a longer life. And maybe most important, it's making the entire manufacturing process smarter and cheaper, which is quietly but dramatically lowering the price for all of us.
Now, as the tech inside the cars gets smarter, you better believe the business model is changing right along with it. And this next shift, well, let's just say it's stirring up a lot of debate. Yeah, get ready for the world of feature subscriptions. The basic idea is, instead of buying a feature like, say, advanced driver assistance one time, you'd pay a monthly fee to use it. Kind of like your phone, right?
You buy the hardware, the phone itself, but you subscribe to the apps and services that make it great.
Now, to be fair, the argument for this is actually pretty interesting. The people who support it say, hey, this could democratize access to amazing safety tech. So instead of that cutting-edge feature only being on the super expensive top-of-the-line model, a subscription could let someone driving the base model get it too.
But the pushback against this is huge. A lot of people look at this and just see a corporate cash grab. It really gets to the core of what it even means to own your car. The idea that a company can just flip a switch and turn off a feature in your car because you didn't pay the fee this month? Yeah, that does not sit well with a lot of folks.
So, okay, let's recap. We've got these massive forces all pushing in the same direction. Sky-high gas prices, brutal competition, and revolutionary AI. They're all pushing us towards an electric future. But there is one final huge hurdle, and it's one that could slow this whole thing way, way down.
And that big wild card? It's infrastructure. More specifically, it's the charging network. I mean, it's growing, for sure, but the rollout is still just deeply, deeply uneven across the country.
And this chart right here really lays out the problem perfectly. If you live in a big city, especially on the coasts, finding a charger is getting easier every day. But for massive parts of rural America, trying to sell someone on an EV is still a really tough conversation. That gap you see between the two, that is the single biggest challenge this entire industry is facing.
And here's the real, kind of tragic irony in all of this. If we're not careful, the very people who are hurt the most by high gas prices, working class families, people with really long commutes, they could be the ones who get left behind by the very solution that's supposed to help them. And so that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? We are literally watching the future of transportation in America being written in real time. But will this electric revolution be a revolution for all Americans? Or will it just be for those who happen to live in the right zip code, with the right income? That's the challenge. And how we answer it? Well, that's what's going to define the road ahead.